Welcome to latest News Blaster. The world fell into a stunned silence on September 16, 2025, when news broke that Robert Redford, the legendary actor, director, and humanitarian, had passed away at the age of 89, leaving behind not just a cinematic empire, but a profound and enduring legacy that touched millions across generations. And yet, amidst this global wave of grief and countless tributes pouring in from Hollywood, stars, fans, and colleagues alike, the most heart-wrenching sight, the moment that captured the true depth of this loss, was found in the quiet, intimate corners of his home in Sundance, Utah, where his wife, Sybil Sagers, sat surrounded by memories of a life built together, her eyes welling with tears so intense that it seemed as if her very soul wept, shedding what could only be described as the bloodiest of tears, symbolic of the profound pain that words alone could never convey, each droplet falling silently upon her hands as she clutched a faded photograph of Robert smiling. A gentle reminder of a man who had become more than just a figure in the film industry, but a beacon of hope, creativity, and unwavering human spirit. A man whose dedication to independent filmmaking through the Sundance Institute had reshaped Hollywood forever, providing a stage for countless voices that might otherwise have gone unheard. And in that quiet room, the weight of his absence pressed upon her chest, a physical ache that mirrored the emotional void that had opened in the hearts of those who had known him personally and professionally, as she whispered softly, her voice breaking yet imbued with reverence, reflecting the intimate, unspoken bond that had defined their 16-year marriage. A marriage that, while shielded from the constant glare of public attention, was rich with shared passions for art, nature, and a commitment to leaving the world better than they had found it, her tears tracing paths down her cheeks, red and raw, a visual echo of grief so profound it transcended ordinary mourning. And as she recounted memories of quiet mornings spent painting together, afternoons walking amidst the mountains he loved so dearly, evenings discussing projects that would inspire future generations, it became clear that these were not mere recollections but living fragments of a life entwined with brilliance, love, and purpose. Fragments that now demanded recognition and remembrance. Fragments that spoke of a man who, even in death, challenged the world to see beyond the surface of fame and glory, and into the very soul of artistic and humanitarian endeavor. And as Sybil continued to speak, her voice trembling with emotion, she recounted the genesis of the Sundance Institute. How Robert had envisioned a sanctuary for creativity, a refuge where emerging filmmakers could take risks, tell bold stories, and defy the conventional limitations of mainstream cinema. How he had poured not just resources but heart and soul into ensuring that this vision flourished, a vision that now stood as a living testament to his relentless belief in the transformative power of art. And she spoke of his films, the timeless classics that had defined an era, from Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, to All the President's Men and Out of Africa, each a reflection of a man committed to truth, complexity, and the profound human experience. And she cried again, her sobs raw and unrestrained, her blood tears falling like silent tributes to a life spent illuminating the world. And in her grief, there was also defiance, a determination to carry forward the mantle of his ideals, to ensure that his vision, his philosophy, and his unwavering dedication to art and humanity would not fade with his passing, that the next generation would understand the depth of his contributions, not just to film, but to the very way we perceive storytelling and human connection. And she recounted his gentle humor, the way his eyes would light up in a room, the subtle gestures that revealed a man both extraordinary and profoundly human, a man whose kindness and wisdom extended beyond the screen into every interaction, leaving those who knew him feeling forever altered, forever inspired. And she spoke of the challenges they faced together, the times when the world seemed harsh and indifferent, and how Robert's resilience, creativity, and unyielding belief in possibility had been both a beacon and an anchor, guiding them through turbulence while simultaneously lifting those around him. And through her words, through the raw, visceral display of emotion, it became evident that the legacy Robert Redford left behind was not confined to awards, accolades, or public recognition, but lived in the enduring impact of his spirit, his ideals, and the countless lives he touched, including hers, profoundly and irrevocably. And as the tears continued to fall, red as if infused with the very essence of grief itself, she confessed that losing him was like losing a part of her own heartbeat, yet she found solace in knowing that his essence, his vision, and and his unwavering pursuit of truth and beauty in art and life would continue to ripple through the world, inspiring new generations to dream, to create, and to believe in the power of purpose-driven work. And as she spoke of the mountains, the rivers, the canvases they had shared, it was as though every memory became a living testament to a man whose life had been more than mere existence, whose presence had been a force of nature, a symphony of passion, integrity, and love. And in this moment of unparalleled vulnerability, as she shed tears that seemed to burn with the intensity of her sorrow, she articulated the unspoken truth that true legacy is not measured in time, but in the depth of impact, the breadth of inspiration, and the undying resonance of love and purpose. And through this confession, raw, intimate, and unflinchingly human, the world glimpsed not just the loss of a cinematic icon, but the eternal flame of a life lived with purpose, courage, and boundless heart, a life whose echoes would forever linger in the corridors of art, the whispers of mountains, the vibrancy of independent film, and the hearts of all who had been fortunate enough to witness the brilliance that was Robert Redford. And even as her voice faltered, even as her blood tears traced the contours of a grief too profound for words, she vowed silently, through trembling lips and quivering hands, to uphold the vision they had shared, to protect, to nurture, and to celebrate the legacy that was no longer only his, but now a shared inheritance, a call to honor, remember, and continue a journey defined by courage, creativity, and an unwavering devotion to truth, beauty, and humanity. And as the sun set over the serene mountains of Sundance, casting long shadows that mirrored the depth of loss, yet shimmered with the promise of enduring inspiration, Sybil Saga's confession stood as a testament to the undeniable truth that Robert Redford's life, work, and love would forever remain a guiding light, an indelible imprint on the world, a legacy so profound that even in the tears of those who mourn, it shone brighter than any accolade or recognition ever could. And in this single, uninterrupted narrative of grief, memory, and unwavering devotion, the essence of Robert Redford, his heart, his spirit, and his boundless legacy, was immortalized in the most human of ways, through love, through loss, and through the blood-tinged tears of a woman who had shared the journey of a lifetime with a man whose name would forever echo through the annals of art, humanity, and the enduring power of legacy. The night deepened, yet Sybil's vigil continued, her blood-stained tears reflecting both grief and reverence, a silent homage to a life of unparalleled brilliance. And in the quiet shadows of Sundance, she vowed to carry forward Robert's vision, ensuring that his art, his spirit, and his unwavering commitment to humanity would forever endure. This moment will be remembered for years to come. If you were moved, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share this report with your friends. More exclusive stories and emotional updates are on the way, so stay tuned.